If you think being the nice guy is a virtue, you're dangerously mistaken. It's not a badge of honor. It's a social trap. You've been sold a lie, a sedating narrative that tells you that being agreeable, avoiding conflict, and putting everyone else's needs above your own will eventually earn you the respect and love you crave. But look around. Look at your life. The people you bend over backward for don't admire you. They overlook you. They don't value your kindness. They expect it as a given. The world doesn't ignore you because you're too good. It ignores you because you are harmless. And in the raw reality of human nature, being harmless is respected. It's exploited. You played by every rule they gave you. You've been the shoulder to cry on, the one who stays late without being asked, the one who never makes a scene even when you're being disrespected. And yet, you feel more invisible than ever. You are looking at your life and wondering why the people who give the least seem to get the most, while you, who give everything, are left with the scraps of other people's time and attention. This isn't just bad luck. It's a mathematical certainty based on the way the human brain perceives value. Today, we are going to deconstruct the nice guy myth and replace it with something far more potent: the psychology of the integrated man. Let's start with the fundamental paradox of value. Think about the objects in your life that you value the most. Is it the air you breathe? Probably not. Air is everywhere. It's infinite, it's free, and it's always there. You don't wake up and thank the air for being in the room. You only notice it when it's gone, when you're suffocating. Now, think about a diamond or a rare limited edition watch. You treat those things with care. You protect them. You respect them. Why? Because they are scarce. They have boundaries. They aren't available to everyone at all times. They have a cost. When you act as the nice guy, you are making yourself like the air. You are making your kindness, your time, and your emotional labor an infinite resource. In the economy of human interaction, anything that is infinite has a market value of zero. By being too nice, you aren't showing the world how much you care. You're showing the world that your time and your feelings have no price tag. You are telling people that they can disrespect you, walk over you, or ignore you, and you will still be there, smiling and asking how you can help. You are training them to treat you like a doormat, and then you're getting angry when they wipe their feet on you. You have become a commodity, and commodities are replaceable. To understand why this happens, we have to look through the lens of evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, survival depended on social hierarchy. In a primitive tribe, the individuals who were most respected were those who provided value, but also those who could defend their territory. A man who was purely nice, without the ability to say no or stand his ground, was seen as a liability. If you couldn't defend yourself, you couldn't defend the tribe. Fast forward to today, and our primitive brains still function on these same hardwired scripts. When you refuse to set boundaries, when you let people interrupt you, or when you apologize for things you didn't do, you are sending a subperceptual signal to everyone around you. I am a low-status individual. I am not a threat, but I am also not a leader. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood concepts in modern psychology, popularized by Carl Jung: the shadow. Every human being has a shadow, a side of their personality that contains their capacity for assertiveness, selfishness, and intensity. The nice guy tries to suppress his shadow. He tries to be 100% light, 100% helpful, and 100% agreeable. But here's the secret. A man who has no shadow is not a good man. He is a weak man. There is a massive difference between being peaceful and being harmless. A rabbit is harmless. It can't do anything but run. A lion is peaceful when he chooses not to strike. The lion has a capacity for dominance, but he has it under control. That is what people respect. They don't respect a rabbit. They respect a lion who chooses to be calm. To gain respect, you must integrate your shadow. You must own your capacity to be formidable. This doesn't mean becoming a bully. It means developing the teeth to say no and mean it. It means being willing to walk away from a relationship, a job, or a friendship that doesn't serve you. The moment you are truly willing to walk away, you gain all the power. Why? Because your presence is no longer guaranteed. It is now a privilege that must be earned. Consider the story of two men in a modern social setting. Let's call them Mark and David. Mark is the quintessential nice guy. He's always the one planning the hangouts, paying for the extra drinks, and listening to his friends complain about their lives for hours. He thinks this makes him a great friend. But when Mark needs something, suddenly everyone is busy. His friends talk over him at dinner. Why? Because they know Mark will never call them out. They know Mark will be there tomorrow, regardless of how they treat him today. His kindness is not a choice. It's a compulsion born of a fear of being disliked. Then there's David. David is polite, but he's firm. If a friend cancels on him last minute without a good reason, David doesn't say, "It's okay, no worries." David says, "That's disappointing. I cleared my schedule for this. Let's not let that happen again." David doesn't shout. He doesn't get hostile. He simply states the reality of his boundaries. People are careful with David. They value his time because David values his own time. They see that David has a sword in his hand, his ability to withdraw his attention, and they respect him for the discipline he shows by not using it unless necessary. This transition from being a nice guy to a respected man requires a total rewrite of your internal software. It starts with the way you communicate. Stop using qualifiers in your speech. Stop saying, "I'm sorry, but," or "Is it okay if I just..." These phrases are verbal cues of submission. When you have something to say it. When you have a boundary, state it. If someone asks you for a favor that you don't want to do, don't make up a long-winded lie about why you're busy. Just say, "I can't do that this time." You don't owe anyone an explanation for your boundaries. In fact, the more you explain, the more you look like you're asking for permission to have a life. The more you justify, the more you invite others to negotiate your worth. Another critical shift is your relationship with conflict. The nice guy fears conflict above all else. He thinks that if he makes someone angry, he has failed. But conflict is actually the forge where respect is created. If you never have a conflict with someone, it's usually because you are the one doing all the compromising. Healthy relationships require tension. They require two people who are willing to say, "I disagree, and this is not acceptable to me." If you are afraid to lose someone by standing up for yourself, you have already lost them, because you can't have a real relationship with someone who doesn't see you as an equal. Now, let's talk about the intense side of the psychology. People often feel guilty when they start setting boundaries. They feel like they're being harsh. This is a survival mechanism designed to keep you in your place at the bottom of the hierarchy. You have to push through that guilt. You have to realize that by being too nice, you were actually being manipulative. You were trying to buy love and respect through favors and compliance. That's not being a good person. That's a covert contract. You are doing things for people with the secret expectation that they would love you back. When you stop doing that, you become more honest. You do things because you want to, not because you're afraid of what will happen if you don't. Real kindness requires the power to be firm. Without that choice, your kindness is just a lack of options. As you begin this journey, understand that the people who are used to the old you will resist the new you. They will call you selfish. They will say you've changed. They will try to guilt trip you back into being their nice little helper. This is the ultimate test of your character. If you fold now, you confirm to them that your boundaries were fake. But if you hold the line, something magical happens. Those who truly value you will start treating you with a new level of deference. They will begin to see you as a man of substance, a man who knows his value and isn't afraid to protect it. And those who are only using you, they will disappear. and you should let them. Their departure is not a loss. It's a cleaning of your social circle. You are not here to be a background character in other people's lives. You are not here to be a safety net for people who wouldn't catch you if you fell. You are here to build a life of purpose, strength, and genuine connection. And that life starts the moment you stop asking for permission to exist and start demanding the respect you deserve. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you tolerate. If you tolerate disrespect, you will receive it in abundance. If you tolerate being an afterthought, you will be treated as one. Stop being the nice guy. Start being a man of character, a man of boundaries, a man who understands that his silence is just as powerful as his words. This is the path of emotional dynamics. This is how you become irreproachable. It isn't about being cruel. It's about being real. It's about recognizing that your life is your own, and you are the only one responsible for its quality. If this message hit home, if you felt that sting of recognition, then you know what you have to do. The path ahead isn't easy, and you will lose people along the way. But the person you will find, the version of you that is strong, respected, and free, is worth every sacrifice. Are you ready to stop being the air and start being the diamond? Are you ready to choose respect over approval? Join us on this mission. Subscribe to Emotional Dynamics only if you are willing to leave the comfort of mediocrity behind and face the hard reality of your own power. The question isn't whether they will respect you. The question is whether you have the courage to demand it. Take your power back. It's been waiting for you this whole time.